Welcome, welcome to another installment of Midnights with Marcus Maben, brought to you by TruthTaxes.com. Truth Tax and Accounting. TruthTaxes.com. I guess first thing I should do put up our board, put up our announcements. Let's try to get a vibe of the room. Ronnie Ron says, "What's good? Let's get it, Dwayne." Money Wesley, what's good? What's good? Fabian says, "Total shit show. Man, it's been a horrible 7 years. Katie, 2 more games until an overhaul. Can't wait to prove the naysayers wrong next season. King Dom in the building. What's good, Card family? Curry, Withers, and Rose gotta go. Where's Lauren? Sanchez Jackson. What's good? Ronnie Ron, Total Rebuild Squad. You can see it in his eyes. He is not happy. BHH2. We couldn't hit nothing tonight. Well, it's almost over. I'm so ready for a reset. We're rolling. Lauren K in the building. I assume she was asleep. Why the dog? I didn't see that part, Jeff. They get it close, then they let go of the road. Does Sky Clark play defense? If so, definitely trade him for Ellis. Fabian Bradley, hold on. DJ from Texas, what's good? Jeff sums up the season. Fabio plays well every game, then he gets benched. He did look pretty good out there, didn't he? Fabian, kind of like we're scared to succeed. Can't give any positives tonight. Got outplayed and outcoached. Even the dog at halftime took a dump on the court. But listen, Babu, you are turning into one of the most negative comment people on this night show. Like, man, you even on positive nights, you talk about how you can't have any positives. There were some positives. If you watched that and couldn't come up with any positives at all, that means you're just as negative as you reacted on the night show. Lady Lauren, Moms K, DJ, Chuck, what's good? Tyrone, what's up to the Midnight Crew? Starters play terrible and keep their starting jobs. Go into detail. Kind of figure the last 2 games will be an A. Who cares? Kind of effort. Anyway, cheers to next season. I can do that too. I can do a cheers to next season. My goodness. Frisbee dog player of the game. As the fans in Waterboy, we suck again. When the dog moves on the court, what kind of that fan base is messed up? Oh, wants to keep the stink off Fabio and Devin. That's what it kind of looked like. When you start looking at the whole year, guess who? Guess who? After this, there is no excuse. Payne must go. No, Payne must not go. But guess who must go? I hope it was worth it. Guess who? You. Watch me. You. So watch me. You. Watch me guess who gets blocked. Oh. Are not D1 players. Man. Time for some new talent. Unavoidable, Kevin Hickman. Absolutely embarrassing. I agree. Guess who? He ain't going nowhere. Hit the like, please. Hit the like button if you're in the building. Nothing positive about this game. Fabian, is that you texting into the show every day trying to say there's nothing positive? I thought you knew sports better than that. Hi, Jocelyn. What are you doing? Are you enjoying your night? We might need you sniping tonight to Lauren. I'm mad at myself for even going to the game. I expected a better defend the 3 for once. I agree. What's going on? What's going on? Curry. You're not a fan of Curry, obviously. I called you out last night. All right. Fair enough if I meant somebody else, but I will say there is always positives. If you want to ignore them, you can ignore them, but there are positives. Let's hit the reset button. We can get No good defense from our starters, especially our guards. I'm just here. I got nothing about the game, but it will be 78 degrees tomorrow. I'm extremely excited about that. Mike J played his butt off. Alicia, no, 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 Alicia. To the no positives person, let them look you right in the face and say, as you were watching these, the team fight, tell me you didn't see Mike James look like the on our team. Mike James was the hardest playing guy on the team. And you saw him getting better play after play after play. Everybody who tried to say there was nothing positive tonight, if you didn't take a second and compliment Mike James, that means you're just looking to be extreme. Mike James played his ass off tonight. Thank you, Alicia, for being the one person to acknowledge that while everybody else is just hell bent on complaining about every single little thing before they acknowledge that Mike James played his ass off. I take nothing positive back. James went to the hole hard. JJ gets better. They missed the he should have got some calls too. Mike James, he got bullied by the referees as well. Che Woo Brewer, what's good, family? The non-delegation point guards back at Ellis Down for easy bucket was a hell of a way to end Black History Month. That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. We had to wait for the police to go by. Yeah, no way it can get worse. Guess who must go? Okay, I'm catching up. How can Jalen have 2 points? Very, very, very disappointing performance. I don't know how that's possible. Sydney, I don't know how that's possible. Mm, mm. I'm so glad we have a resume, though. I'm so glad this was a great season to come up with a resume. Did y'all see the way Sydney Curry at the beginning of the game, how he ripped through with the basketball and made the aggressive moves early in the game? When Sydney Curry missed his first shot, he went into a total hole. Did y'all see Sydney? Okay, you're mad. I'm mad right now. Okay, I have somebody on my team in Sydney Curry who got the ball on the block, and Sydney Curry got blocked twice by somebody who never left the ground, who's damn near the same height as Sydney Curry. Did you see that guy block Sydney Curry twice in a row by just holding his hands up in the air? Now, this is the game you can play. Well, Kenny Payne should have just benched Sydney Curry for the rest of the year. Coach Payne is like, you can't make this up. I want y'all to see how do I say something nice? Hold on. I want to say this in a nice way. Give me a second to say this in a nice way. What if, imagine this, y'all. Imagine if I drew up a play or my big man got the ball on the block and there's another player who's about the same height or maybe a little more, but the exact same position. Held his hands straight up in the air and blocked my 6'7", 6'8", 260-pound player 2 times in a row by just holding his hands up in the air. Would y'all tell me I need to teach Sidney Curry how to score that basketball? Or would I say, hey, no disrespect, I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. I'm trying. Somebody right now, tell me what you thought when you saw Sidney Curry get blocked 2 times in a row on the block. He was on the block and got blocked 2 times in a row by somebody who didn't even jump off the ground. Tell me, what do y'all think when y'all see that? Yeah, go ask guess who what he thought when he saw Sidney Curry get blocked twice in a row by a guy just standing on 2 feet, who's about 6'8", 6'9" at best. Infinite Rosetta. Could you imagine if I had a player who's 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 been through 2 years of junior college and he's in the end of his second year of high level Division I basketball. He's 6'8", and he let a 6'9" guy block him twice. A guy block him twice who never left the floor. And you outweigh that guy by 20, 30 pounds. And you can jump higher than that guy. What would you think about that human? Okay, let's play the game. Kenny Payne shouldn't have had him out there. Okay. Now, who's tell me who on that team is better than Sidney Curry on the block? Do you think Brandon Huntley Hatfield is better than Sidney Curry in the paint? Do you think Roosevelt Wheeler offensively is better than Sidney Curry in the paint? Emmanuel Okorafor has literally been in the country for a month. Does not understand the road. Emmanuel still doesn't know how the game is being called for fouls. So when you see Sidney Curry get the ball on the block and get blocked twice by somebody who's not even jumping, do you really blame that on Kenny Payne? Sidney Curry's ability to score point blank range on the block? Do you really is it possible to blame our coaching staff if I give you the ball and I put somebody who's about the same height as you and you got him under the basket and all he does is hold his fucking hands up and blocks your shot twice? Oh man, the coach has got to go because they're not teaching him. Well, teach him what? Teach him what? What do you want Coach Payne to teach Sidney Curry on the block to not get blocked by a guy who never even jumps off the ground? No, he doesn't sound broken. You know what? He sounds like he's disappointed in the players on this team. He sounds like he's tired of the he's tired of what? Well, he sounds like he needs better talent on his team. I could not imagine. And see, like, if you say that that's a Kenny Payne thing, Sidney Curry getting blocked like that twice in a row on the block, like I said, I'll give you, you don't understand Kenny Payne's substitution pattern. I'll let you play that game as long as you let me play the game that anybody that gets blocked twice in a row by somebody who's the same size as them and you're a big man, you're not built for this level. You give me that, I'll say, hey, yeah, I don't think look, I don't think Sidney Curry should have started either. Sidney Curry hadn't been starting lately. Sidney Curry started for senior night. He hadn't been starting. Every single commentator that came in here has said this is not a team that plays or looks like their record is. He's disappointed. He's extremely disappointed, as am I. No, he's not lost on defense. He's, you know what he is? All it takes is a nudge to move him out of position. He has no fight around the basket. It's heartbreaking for me to say that. Brandon Huntley Hatfield has zero fight around the basket, zero second effort. He does not want the contact, and it shows. And it shows. The ball goes up. He gets pushed. Somebody blocks the shot. He blocks the shot, and everybody he blocks recovers their own ball and goes right back at him. He has no tenacity. And it's fucking heartbreaking to see it. He has no tenacity for the second effort, the third effort. It sucks to say it. You're not there to help your teammates out. You're not there for the second effort. You get pushed out the way. You're not in a posture to do anything physical. You can see it. It's not rocket science. I don't do hot takes. I do sports. I don't do Kenny Payne hot seat talk radio. I don't do that shit. I look at the game. I look at the sport. I want to teach more kids to play the sport. I love the competition of it. I like the teaching of it. All that stuff. The post game Kenny Payne looks defeated. He's an expert at basketball. Danny Manning is an expert. Nolan Smith is an expert. Josh Jameson, these guys are experts at the sport of basketball. Your hot take that Kenny Payne is checked out and that's all hot take shit. Watch the basketball game. Watch when their team pushes us and watch us fall. Watch how often we cry and complain and whine and bitch and moan and just listen. We got terrible calls. We got terrible calls. We got pushed in the back. The defense rode us. Our players need to learn how to play physical games, mental games. The commentator said it. He said nothing. The commentator said it when it went from a 3-point game to a 17-point game. You know what the commentator said? They don't have the mental toughness to play through physicality. The commentator said the reason this game went from 3 points to 17 points is because these players don't have the mental toughness to play through physicality. So are you okay? Maybe Jay Williams comes in here and says that, right? Okay, well maybe Jay Williams likes Kenny Payne. Okay, Curtis Staples comes and says that the next game. Oh, well maybe Curtis Staples and Jay Williams like Kenny Payne. I mean, how many commentators do you have to have come through here and say these kids just don't have any toughness? I mean, are you just gonna keep on saying Kenny Payne? I mean, I know you only, you've been here for 9 months, and we watched Jalen Withers, and we complained about him being tough for 3 years. But Kenny Payne, you're supposed to make him the toughest guy on the court in 9 months. Yeah, Perry Clark. You think you think Perry Clark doesn't know what he sees? These are all experts. They're fucking experts. They enjoy, listen, Perry Clark enjoyed watching this game. I see why y'all losing. I see y'all got good space and you're getting punked. Y'all realize that Padula kid, the point guard, is a sophomore. He's tougher than you. He's tougher than you. He listens to his coach. He plays within his means. He does not let people get around him. He forces you to shoot over him. They believe in their coaches. They believe in being tough. They believe they're going to hit the shot. All those big shots. When our guys shoot the three-pointer, we were rushing it. When they shot three-pointers, they were confident. I mean, are we just going to blame every single issue that this team has on the coaching staff and ignore everything we see? Okay, when you have three guys in the lane, three Louisville basketball players in the paint under the rim, there's one Virginia Tech guy in the paint, and that Virginia guy comes up with the rebound 6 out of 10 times. 6 or 7 out of the 10 times. That's the coach's fault because we don't have 4 guys in the paint. It's stupid. You sound stupid. Rebounding was horrible, but we had guys in the paint. We showed early. We got 5 offensive rebounds early in the game. They just quit rebounding. Okay, are we going to blame Kenny Payne? Oh, Kenny Payne, you let him quit rebounding. Ellis started the game playing defense. Also, when a guy runs off a screen, if your big man doesn't play intense and a guy can just run back and forth off the screen and your big man doesn't help or make it difficult for the guard, you're gonna get cooked. You're gonna get cooked. If a guard can run back and forth off his screen and your big man doesn't help you, that means you got to run around 2 people. You have to guard a guard when there's a screen. So a lazy big man, when you play defense, a lazy big man means you have to run around 2 people. I have to run around my big man and I have to run around their big man. And if my big man doesn't help out on these screens, open up, challenge, add pressure, if he doesn't do that, then this guard is going to fucking rip me to shreds. This is real. Why do you think they put Sidney Curry in pick and rolls every single time? Why do you think they put the weakest defenders in these pick and rolls every single time? Because it makes our guards have to work 10 times as hard. Kamari got tight. Kamari's a good player. He got tight. You got to improve the culture. You got to improve the intensity. You got to improve a lot of stuff. Yes, again, it's not a zero sum game. I got criticism for. Okay, put it this way: if Coach Payne had a real roster, I would get on his substitutions more. I would say, Coach, you can get more intensity out of these kids through your substitution pattern. But what he's working with this roster, it won't do any good to keep snatching everybody out. This roster, it won't do any good to substitute all crazy. Mm. I'm just saying, how many shots did we miss point blank at the basket? In your brain right now, give me a number. How many shots did we miss in the paint? Brandon, Sydney, Mike James, Jalen Withers. How many shots did we miss right at the basket? How many free throws did we miss early in the game? Tell me how many points we missed right at the basket right now. Gary Crump says 10. Walter says 10. 6 or more, 9. 20 points right at the basket. You saw that with your own two. Okay, it's Kenny Payne's fault that we missed 20 points right at the basket. 15, 20, 10. Lots of bunnies, back to back, put back shots. Now, how many points did they score by just out toughing us around the basket? How many putbacks and extra? Listen, how many 3-pointers did we give up off a second or third rebound? We got 3 guys in the lane. They out tough us. They kick it out. They hit a 3. Shoot, rebound, shoot, rebound, shoot, rebound. They out tough us. Again, 3 guys in the paint. So it's not like we're not in rebounding zones. We're there to rebound. They move us out the way, get the ball, kick it out to their guys. Y'all saw the game? Mm-hmm. 3 rebounds in 1 segment. L. Ellis early in the game, he shot about 3 really bad shots. Actually, 2 in the first half, 1 in the second half. Really bad shots. L. Ellis was trying to put pressure out on the floor. He was trying, but once they started running L. Ellis off the ball screen, and he wasn't getting the help off his big man, we weren't. I think he kind of checked out and turned into an offensive game. Jalen Withers, he has the basketball right in front of the guy. He's moving the basketball around, stuck in his face. Guy slaps the ball right from Jalen Withers. Jalen Withers been in college 4 fucking years. We got it down to about 6 points, 7 points, whatever it was. Jalen Withers has the ball right in front of the guy. Jalen Withers been in college 4 years. That guy knocks the ball right out of his hand. They run down the fucking court, get a bucket. Yeah, that's Kenny Payne's fault. That's Kenny Payne's fault. That Jalen Withers, a 4-year guy, let that ball get slapped right out of his hands, and they're going the other way on the turnover. That's 100% Kenny Payne's fault. Do you hear how stupid that sounds? Do you hear how stupid that sounds? Listen, big picture, of course I can criticize the staff. Of course listen, and not criticize the staff like as a overall plan. Criticize the staff in, okay, if they don't box out fundamentally sound every single time, I'm gonna go yell at the staff, over and over and over again. That's critique. That's not criticism. When I give Sidney Curry the ball on the block and he gets blocked twice by somebody who doesn't even jump, I'm saying, coaches, go give me some players. I'll critique. Actually, I'll criticize. Coach, you thought you could do more with these players, or you weren't worried about the wins and losses like we were worried about the wins and losses. When you saw Jalen go to the basket and just get the ball stripped, and then going the other way, and then he falls down, it's like, y'all seen that movie before. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. King Dom, those are guys that are, yeah, you took two top 25 teams to the wire. We knew this team was gonna be. If I hope if y'all got a chance to listen to the pregame show, it's the second hour of the show today. Outside of Vasily, is that his name? I thought he was just a good, solid player. I knew he had been killing the last 10 games. I didn't think he was gonna tear us up like that. Cuddy Lee says, yeah, KP did a horrible job closing out. Actually, don't even say closing out. KP did a horrible job finishing around the basket, shooting free. Isn't it amazing how KP doesn't get credit when we shoot free throws good all year, but we get in a senior night game and we shoot bad free throws, and that's a KP issue? Kevin Murphy says, yes, but Robin, we have had two head coaches say the same thing about the same kids. Listen, it's irritating. It's extremely irritating. Mr. Smitty Man says the half-assers got to go. They become a concern if KP keeps them hoping their light bulbs come on. I did see that too. I saw him in the defensive stance. He was literally trying to play defense for them. Fabio looked great on defense. He looked great on defense. But think about this, y'all. Think about this. Fabio Basili ain't played in 10 games all year. He looked like the best defensive guard on the court. You know why? Because he could time the rhythm of a guard. Fabio Basili had excellent footwork on defense. So, do y'all think Kenny Payne taught Fabio his excellent footwork on defense? Or Fabio is a talented defensive guard? Ask yourself that question. Fabio could stay up on the guard when he was out on the court. Y'all saw Fabio. He was in lockstep with the guards. Looked like the best defensive guard on the team. Do you think Kenny Payne taught him that? Or is Fabio a talented defensive player. Fabio brings it. I'll play that game with you. Fabio brings it. He's fast with good footwork. He hasn't played in 10 games this year. But you could see, at the very least, he's talented on the defense with his footwork, with his effort, with his energy. Now, is he Louisville top 25? I thought he was. But talent is also a discipline. Discipline to do everything to get on the court. Jocelyn says if they're grown enough to expect the NIL bag, then they are grown enough to be accountable. I'm over blaming KP for their lack of. Here's the thing: there's such a fine line between. Hold on, y'all. There's such a fine line between D1. There's such a fine line between D1 and top tier D1. But here's the thing. They got Fabio in there to try to run some action for L. Ellis. Fabio runs in there, charges. One time he goes in there, blocks, charges. This is the one thing Coach Payne told him, Fabio, I don't want you to shoot the ball. I want you to get the ball to L. Ellis. I want you to get the ball to L off screens. I want you to get us in the offense. Every single time Fabio gets his opportunity, he makes a couple plays, and then he doesn't get us into the offense. And Kenny Payne goes bananas. You know what I'm saying? And it pisses Kenny Payne off. He says, that's why I can't fucking play you. So, hold on, y'all. Let me scratch my eyeball. So that's why Fabio is always in the doghouse. Hersey Miller can get us in our offense. Even Hersey Miller sometimes goes to the basket when he's not supposed to. But a lot less than Fabio. So yeah, I'm not crushing Fabio, but I'm like, damn. Yeah, I agree. I agree. But it's Fabio's job to get him in no set. But I agree with you. The team did look lost. But they didn't look lost a lot of times when other people were in the game. Mm. Y'all want to do KP post game presser? Y'all want to do KP post game presser, or do y'all want to do Do we still got a post game show going on? I don't even know if we got a post game. Hold on, hold on. Hi, Tina. Where's Steve? I haven't talked to Steve. Hershey should have dished his hand.
We are here for you this evening. Here is the opening statement from the press conference tonight.
Get my headphones.
Hats off to Virginia Tech. We knew they were a good team. We knew that they milked the clock. We knew what we had to do. Well, we thought we knew what we had to do to disrupt what they were doing offensively. We talked about a game plan. We put together a game plan. We went over it for 2 or 3 days. And we come out and we had 5 turnovers. And the whole game plan was to disrupt what they were doing offensively, to get after people defensively so that they didn't have a rhythm to the offense.
And the Kenny Payne press conference is presented by U of L Health, making the impossible possible. That is the power of you. We're talking about microcosms as we open up the show tonight. That is a microcosm right there of how bad of a coaching job Coach Payne has done this year. Their entire game plan that they went over with multiple days.
Is that what he's starting with?
Disrupt their offense, and it only generated 5 turnovers. I mean, if that doesn't scream the inability to manufacture wins, the inability to execute a game plan, I don't know what does. I mean, it's again, and that's just the tip of the iceberg of how bad this presser was. Let's open up the phone lines. 8150-939 is the number.
So you set that up, then open up the phone lines.
As well. Harold will lead things off tonight. Hey, man.
Harold is the worst caller of the 93.9 show. I can't believe I couldn't even listen to that shit for too long. Let's go to it. Boom, 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 boom. Cause I want to hear it. I want to hear it in context without the Ethan slant. It's definitely just my opinion. Yeah, I'm not arguing with anybody who just he needs his press pass revoked. I mean, he been hating from the beginning. I Heart Running and YouTube playing. But again, Ethan sounded like this with Chris Mack. Ethan wanted every single coach fired. He wanted every single coach we've had, he wanted them fired. Yeah, he wanted all these guys gone. So that's why I don't freak out. Let's see. Present. I'm gonna leave 93.9. I'm gonna go and join Mike Rutherford and Master P and just do a show once a week. I'm gonna just go hang out with Rutherford and P.
Hats off to Virginia Tech. We knew they were a good team. We knew that they would milk the clock. We knew what we had to do. Well, we thought we knew what we had to do to disrupt what they were doing offensively. We talked about a game plan. We put together a game plan. We went over it for 2 or 3 days, and we come out and they had 5 turnovers, and the whole game plan was to disrupt what they were doing offensively, to get after people defensively, so that they didn't have a rhythm to their offense. Simply put, They had 24 points off second chance points. They had
24 po-
18 points off turnovers. Who you going?
24 points off second chance points. Now, do you think Kenny Payne said don't rebound? 24 points off second chance points. And we had three people in the paint off most of those rebounds. We had a player connected to the offensive rebounder on almost all of those points. It's Kenny Payne's fault that these players who have been here multiple years get bullied out of the way because Kenny Payne is supposed to turn them into men instantly. Their talent does not account for aggression level. It's Kenny Payne's fault. When somebody throws you on the ground and gets a rebound, you know what? That's the problem. That's the problem. The people who blame the teachers, the school system, the other kids' parents, everybody else but your kid for being soft. You blame the system, you blame the bus drivers, you blame the school teachers, you blame the guidance counselors, you blame the other parents up the street who raised their kids to be tough. You blame everybody in the world except the kid. I can see who's here and who's in the chat and who's pointing the fingers. That's exactly what's going on. Fair enough. This is not going to be the longest show. I only got about 8 to 10 minutes. Alicia, cheers. Cheers, Dana. We all got to work tomorrow. So let's get a good cheers in here. Cheers, cheers, cheers.
On the beat. Who you going to beat? 17 of those 24 second chance points came in the second half. We had numerous guys that did not come to play on senior night, the last game of the year.
Mm.
I don't know what to say to that. Um, Disappointed, discouraged, hurt. There are no words to describe what it feels like to be a part of something where you watch guys not come to fight for their teammates in this fan base on the last regular
Mm.
season game of the year. That's disappointing. But again, the credit goes to Virginia Tech. They're a good team. Um, we didn't do what we were supposed to do. You know, I'll take credit for that. I'll take the blame for that. Questions?
They good. They did a good job of limiting L in the first half. Something you talked about this week was was just trying to get your defense to do that, to take away aspects of their game. How did they go about taking him out of the equation
Mantis, that
during
was
that first half
horrible.
on offense?
I really can't say that they did do a good job at it. I thought our offense was stagnant. I thought we held the ball too much. I thought we didn't set good screens. I thought the ball was never moving. It was never popping. I didn't think we got out in transition because we didn't get stops. Um, I thought when we did, we turned the ball over. Um, I thought they did a good job of trapping Nail in ball screens and getting the ball out of his hands. But when they do that, you burn them, and when you burn them, they get out of it. And we didn't do a good job of burning them or penalizing them for trapping them.
Kenny, you referenced that you can't quite place, what happens to guys when they just don't come to compete. I feel like that's something you've said many times this season, all year. How do you try to put your finger on that or try to figure that out, these guys?
I can tell you what I just said to the guys in the locker room every day, regardless of what happens. I wake up in the morning saying, I'm going to make sure we try to conquer today. And every day I'm hoping and praying that we figure it out. Every day I'm challenging them. I'm pushing practice harder. I'm making it harder. I'm seeing guys that
I feel you,
I
Jordan S.
know it's the right thing to do because they're not liking it. And that encourages me that, I'm doing the right thing because of their body language toward work, their body language toward being challenged, their body language toward being somebody loving them regardless of their flaws and saying, you can figure this out. I believe in you. And I go to work every day with that in mind and thinking that they're going to figure it out. Um, I just, at some point, um, you hope that they get it individually and team. And it's not just one person, it's multiple guys. Um, you know, but I'm still not giving up. Whenever we practice again, if we're off tomorrow, the following day, I'm gonna come in there and I'm gonna challenge them. I'm gonna push them. I'm gonna make practice hard, and I'm gonna give them everything I got till the season's over.
Jimmy, you're only down three with 9 minutes to go. What down the stretch made them tough for you to guard and tough to play?
I just think our communication was bad. They're a team that they want to run the clock down. They're real patient. They're real poised. The second that you don't communicate, the second that there's a disconnect, meaning that you're not connected to your offensive player or in tune to what's going on or what possibly is going to happen, they burn you. The reality of it is they miss shots, they got the offensive rebound, and they put it in to finish the game.
Pence, you done put together
So
more
we guarded
Facebook
their first
accounts than the law
initiation
should
for
allow.
okay, and then we didn't fight to get the rebound and finish off the possession. They get it, they stick it in the basket.
I didn't like the listen. I didn't like the black gray top coming back.
Overall, what about their defense made it tough to score against tonight?
Um, I just thought that they were more physical than us. We didn't set great screens, probably because they were bumping us. Um, Probably because we didn't set our mans up well enough before coming off screens. Um, they did a good job. They're a good team. They're a solid team. They don't make a lot of mistakes on either side of the ball.
How long has the Virginia
Um,
coach been there
and if you're
at his
not
team, the Virginia
alert
Tech
and in
coach?
tune to what they're trying to do and
How
negating
many
what
years?
they're doing, they're going to beat you. They're a very solid team and a well coached team.
Um, you, I gave some run tonight to Fabio. I'm just wondering, the things you saw from him, during the time that he was on the court, since he's kind of been going back and forth and having some stretches where he doesn't get a lot of action.
Um, L can't play 40 minutes. Hersey has been out. He's been hurt.
Been there 4 years.
He hadn't practiced. So I gave Fabio an opportunity. Um, Thought he did okay. Um, he did some good things out there. He played with energy. He wasn't afraid. Um, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Kenny, I know you've preached patience to the fan base a lot of times this season. What would you say, I guess, to the disappointed segment of that fan base, especially with a night like tonight to close out
I'm
the schedule?
disappointed too.
Um, what would I say to the fan base? I feel like they feel, except I have the obligation, the opportunity to be with them every single day. And I'm preaching similar, if not the same, some of the same things that they're frustrated over: a lack of energy, a
He's
lack
saying
of
the same thing the
confidence,
fans are
a lack
saying.
of fight. I'm preaching that every day. And I can sugarcoat it for you.
Jordan as Vegas
It's not
definitely looked
acceptable.
involved.
I ask these players every day, do you understand what it means to be in that jersey? Um, and what fully do you have to sacrifice to be in that jersey? I don't think a majority of them do. And so my job is to educate them on
Does
what it
anybody
is to
know
be
what
in
the
that jersey.
spread was going into the
And
game?
that doesn't mean it's always going to be rosy. There's going to be hard days, but you have to fight to make sure that you know and have faith that you know that you're
Does
going to face
anybody
them.
know what the spread was?
I hope our fan base, I know most of them do. I know there's some that's disappointed, um, but I hope they understand that not one of these kids to this point has been cheated. Not one single day have they been cheated. So we're going to get this program fixed. Um,
It was 10
probably
and a
sooner than
half.
later. Most likely
Virginia
sooner
Tech
than
was
later.
favored by 10 and a
But I tell
half
you, Pooh, the
on
people that
senior
have been in
night.
this program that deserve to be here, that fit the criteria that it takes to be a Louisville
They
Cardinal.
were giving little. Oh, God. I'm glad I didn't know that. Oh, my God. If I would have known that, I would have been freaking over the cause. If I knew the spread was 10 and a half, Virginia Tech, the whole world probably took Louisville on that. If I would have known it was a 10 and a half, Louisville's getting plus 10 and a half, I'd have freaked. Shit. I'm glad I didn't know that. If I saw Virginia Tech 10 and a half, I would have put money on Virginia Tech because I would have known something was up. If Virginia Tech was minus 10 and a half, that's why those calls went the way they were. That's incredible. Well, I'm extremely disappointed. Look, my biggest criticism is, Coach, don't wear that black gray top anymore. I don't want to see that ever again. That's my biggest coaching criticism. The seniors did not come out with senior effort. And when Sidney Curry made that aggressive move early in the game and got blocked twice by a guy standing flat foot, it's about 4 plays. That's all I needed to see to say, okay, I'm ready to get new players and new energy all in this room. Um, that's a ridiculous that's a ridiculous spread. If y'all don't see a problem with that 10 and a half spread and the way the game was called, I can't really help you. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. 12:30 late game. Um, enjoy yourselves. I won't even tell you what I'm doing with the rest of my night.